Hi, boys and girls. So, we are going to continue with our week of learning and looking at problems and solutions in our books. So, what I mean by a problem is something that happens that is bad or an issue for the character. So, the problem could be if we think about our normal days. Let's say the problem is something silly like I forgot my lunch that day at school. My solution would be how I handle that problem or how I solve that problem. So if I forgot my lunch, my problem, my solution could be well, I could go to the little red store and I could go grab a lunch. I could see what snacks we have in class and just have that for lunch. I could ask a teacher friend if they have an extra sandwich or apple or yogurt. I could ask Mrs. Hogan. She always has great snacks and great food for us. Or I could buy a lunch from the cafeteria. So I have my problem, and then we have to figure out how to solve our problem. So today we are going to look at Lily's purple plastic purse. And while I read, I want you to think about what the problem is and then how does Lily fix it? What is her solution? So let's take a peek. Lily loved school. She loved the pointy pencils. She loved the squeaky chalk. And she loved the way her boots went clickety clickety click down the long, shiny hallways. Lily loved the privacy of her very own desk. She loved the fish sticks and chocolate milk every Friday in the lunchroom. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger. Mr. Slinger was as sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck, and he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. Wow, said Lily. That was just about all she could say. Wow. Instead of greeting students or good morning pupils, Mr. Slinger winked and said, Howdy. He thought that desks in rows were old fashioned and boring. Do you rodents think you can handle a semicircle? And he always provided the most tasty snacks, things that were curly and crunchy and cheesy. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lily. Me too, said her friends, Chester and Wilson and Victor. At home, Lily pretended to be Mr. Slinger. I am the teacher, she told her baby brother Julius. Listen up. Lily even wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. What's with Lily? Asked her mother. I thought she wanted to be a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva, said her father. It must be because of her new teacher, Mr. Slinger, said her mother. Wow, said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Whenever the students had free time, they were permitted to go to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawings and writing. Lily went often. She had a lot of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him too. During sharing time, Lily showed her creations to the entire class. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. When Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lily stood in line even though she didn't ride the bus. Lily raised her hand more than anyone else in the class, even if she didn't know the answer, and she volunteered to stay after school to clap erasers. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lily. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. One Monday morning, Lily came to school especially happy. She had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Lily had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds and a chain like Mr. Slinger's. She had 3 shiny quarters, and best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune when it was opened. Lily wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Listen to our story. Lily had a hard time listening. Lily really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Let's be considerate of our classmates. Lily had a hard time being considerate. Lily really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Wait until recess or sharing time. But Lily could not wait. The glasses were so glittery, the quarters were so shiny, and the purse played such nice music, not to mention how excellent it was for storing school supplies. Look, Lily whispered fiercely. Look, everyone, look what I've got. Everyone looked, including Mr. Slinger. He was not amused. I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day, said Mr. Slinger. They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Lily longed for her purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat the snack Mr. Slinger served before recess. That afternoon, Lily went to the light bulb lab. She was still very sad. She thought and she thought and she thought, and then she became angry. She thought and she thought and she thought some more, and then she became furious. She thought and she thought and she thought a bit longer, and then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. Right before the last bell rang, Lily sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lily and gave her purple plastic purse back. It's a beautiful purse, said Mr. Slinger. Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up, Lily said, and she marched out of the classroom. On the way home, Lily opened her purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside, and so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks at the bottom of the purse. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. She felt simply awful. Lily ran all the way home and told her mother and father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lily decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. I'll stay here for 1,000,000 years, for Mr. Slinger. Why does everything always happen to me? 1051, 1052, 1099. That night, Lily drew a new picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him, too. Lily was really sorry, so everyone forgave her. Even her parents, even her stinky baby brother, even her especially incredible teacher. And then the sun shined its smiley face down on everyone and everything, even the bugs and worms. The end. Lily's mother wrote a note, and Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to bring to school the next day. I think Mr. Slinger will understand, said Lily's mom. I know he will, said Lily's father. The next morning Lily got to school early. These are for you, Lily said to Mr. Slinger, because I'm really, 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 really sorry. Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture, and he read the note, and he sampled the snacks. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. What do you think we should do with this? Asked Mr. Slinger. Could we just throw it away? Asked Lily. Excellent idea, said Mr. Slinger. During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of her purple plastic purse, her shiny quarters, and her glittery movie star sunglasses. Then she did a little performance using them as props. It's called interpretive dance, said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. Wow, said the entire class. That was just about all they could say. Wow. Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She peeked at them often, but did not disturb a soul. Right before the last bell rang, Mr. Slinger served Lily snacks, to everyone's delight. What do you want to be when you grow up? Asked Mr. Slinger. A teacher, everyone responded. Lily's response was the loudest. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. As the pupils filed out of the classroom, Lily held her purple plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. It had been a better day. Lily ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy, and she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. That is when she didn't want to be a dancer, or a surgeon, or an ambulance driver, or a diva, or a pilot, or a hairdresser, or a scuba diver. So if we think about problem solution and we think about just this book, well, the problem was, and we need to think about when something didn't go her way. So something that didn't go her way was after she went shopping with Grandma. And she had a beautiful purple purse. She had quarters. She had sunglasses. But they were distracting the class. So the teacher took it away. And the problem is that during her light bulb time, she drew a really mean note and drew a really mean picture of her teacher. And if you think about how she was feeling, she was so angry and she was mad and she was furious. But she shouldn't have drawn that note or written that note about her teacher or about anyone. So the problem was is that she ended up getting her purse taken and she drew that really mean note. Now let's think about how she solved that problem. So she realized that that wasn't a good thing to do and that it wasn't a kind thing to do. So what did she do to fix the problem? Well, she immediately went home and told her parents. And then she drew him a nice note and a nice picture, and she baked something for the class, almost to say, I'm sorry. So, as we're reading the books this week, I want us to continue to think about the problem or something that bad that happens to the characters, and then how it's fixed or how the problem is solved in your book. Happy learning!